Do you trust in God? I want you to think about that question carefully. Do you truly trust God with your life, your future, your battles, and your fears? Or are you carrying worries silently in your heart, trying to be strong on your own? Today's story is for someone who has been praying for answers. Someone who feels tired, confused, or unsure of what comes next. If that sounds like you, stay with me from the very beginning. This message is listen. Do not be afraid. God is with you. Fear is something every human feels. You may feel fear of the future, fear of failing, fear of losing someone, fear of not being enough, or fear of the unknown. Even the greatest men and women in the Bible felt fear. Moses was afraid to speak. Elijah ran for his life. David cried in the wilderness. The disciples panicked in the storm. But here is the truth that changed their lives. They were never alone. Every time fear showed up, God showed up stronger. And that same God is with you right now as you listen. Now let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Eliam. He grew up believing in God, hearing about the miracles God had done for his people struggled with poverty. His friends abandoned him. Everything he tried to build seemed to fall apart. And slowly, fear started to take over his heart. One night, after a long and disappointing day, Eliam walked away from the village and sat alone under the stars. He looked up and whispered, "God, are you still with me? Because I feel like everything is against me." There was silence. No voice. No miracle. Just quiet air and a tired heart. Eliam felt tears fall from his eyes. For the first time in a long while, he admitted his fear. "Lord, I am afraid. I don't know what to do anymore." At that moment, something gentle happened. A soft breeze moved around him, and a peace washed over his heart. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it was real. Eliam felt something whisper inside him. "Do not be afraid. I am with you." The next morning, Eliam woke up early and went to the river to think. As he sat there, an old man walked by. The man looked at him and said something unexpected. "Young man, whatever you are going through, don't give up. God has not abandoned you. He is with you even when you feel nothing." Eliam stared at him in shock. He had never seen the man before. And yet the man had spoken the exact words that touched. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is trusting God while you walk through fear. Then he walked away. Eliam felt something shift inside him. He realized that God had answered him, not through thunder, not through angels, but through a quiet whisper and a stranger's encouragement. From that day, Eliam decided he would trust God even in the darkness. Eliam began to see small changes. Doors opened slowly. Strength returned to his heart. Confidence came back. The fear didn't disappear overnight, but he learned something powerful. When God is with you, fear loses its control. Now I want to speak to you who is listening. You may feel like Eliam. Maybe you feel alone. Maybe you feel afraid of tomorrow. Maybe life is overwhelming you. But hear this truth. God has not forgotten you. God has not abandoned you. God has not turned his face away from you. He is with you right now. Sometimes God speaks in miracles. Sometimes God speaks in silence. Sometimes God uses people, but he always speaks. And today, he is speaking to you. Do not be afraid. I am with you. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to trust the one who is walking with you. Remember, God told Joshua, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." That same promise is for you. No matter what storm you are facing, no matter how dark life feels, God is beside you. He is protecting you, strengthening you, guiding you, and preparing you for better things. Your story is not over. Your life is not finished. Your blessings are not denied. Lift your head, breathe, rest. God is with you, and he will not let you fall. If this message touched your heart, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's Bible story. And tell me in the comments how this message spoke to you. Your words may inspire someone else who is listening. God bless you, and remember always, do not be afraid. God is with you. Do you believe that God will fight your battles? Think about that question for a moment. Not the battles people can see, but the battles inside your heart. The battles you cry about secretly. The battles you try to face alone. The battles you don't talk about. If you've been carrying something heavy, stay with me until the end of this message, because God has something powerful he wants to tell you today. Stop stressing. Listen to this. You don't have to handle every battle alone. Some battles belong to God, not you. And today's story will remind you of that truth in a way that touches your heart deeply. There was a man named Lior. He was known as a humble and peaceful man. But despite his gentle spirit, life constantly pushed him into battles he didn't ask for. People misunderstood him, coworkers spoke against him, friends he trusted betrayed him, and even members of his own family turned their backs on him. Lior tried to stay strong, but deep inside, he was tired. One night, up at the night, God, he whispered, why is this happening to me? I try to do good. I try to love people. I try to live right. But it feels like every day is a new fight. His voice cracked. Lord, how much longer do I have to fight these battles? There was no voice in the sky. No bright light. No angel standing beside him. Just silence. And that silence made Lior feel even more alone. He sat down on a rock and covered his face with his hands. God, I'm tired. I don't know what to do anymore. As he sat there, something gentle happened. A warm breeze passed over him. It didn't fix everything. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. Lior lifted his head. He recognized that verse from scripture, but hearing it in that moment felt different. It felt alive. The next morning, Lior decided to take a long walk to clear his mind. As he walked through the forest path, he met an elderly man who was gathering firewood. The old man looked at him and said, "You look troubled, my son." Lior forced a small smile. "Just going through a lot." The old man nodded as if he understood more than Lior said. Then he spoke words that shocked Lior to his core. "Some battles are not yours to fight. If you try to fight everything, you will break. But if you give your battles to God, you will rise." Lior froze. Those were almost the exact words he felt in his heart the night before. The old man continued, "You are trying to fix things only God can fix. You are trying to carry things only God can carry. Let God fight for you, and you will find peace." Lior felt something inside him soften. He realized that God had just spoken to him twice, first through a whisper in his heart, and now through this old man. Tears filled his eyes, not from sadness this time, but from relief. God had heard him. God had seen him. God had standing. He didn't have to fight all his battles alone. He didn't have to defend himself every time someone lied about him. He didn't have to force people to understand him. He didn't need to stay awake every night worrying about things outside his control. Lior prayed, "God, I give you my battles, every single one of them. Fight for." And something changed. Not instantly, not dramatically, but quietly. Lior stopped stressing so much. He stopped trying to prove himself to people who already misunderstood him. He stopped wasting his energy on arguments that didn't matter. He stopped carrying pain that wasn't his to carry. Every time a new problem came, he prayed, "God, this one belongs to you." Slowly, back to his heart. Slowly, God began to move in ways Lior never expected. People who lied about him were silenced. People who betrayed him were removed from his life. People who mistreated him were exposed. Opportunities that were blocked suddenly opened. God was fighting for him. There were days when things still looked difficult. But even on those days, Lior reminded himself of the promise, "The Lord will fight for you, you only need to be still." Now let me speak to you who is listening. Battle in your family. A battle in your finances. A battle in your mind. A battle in your health. A battle with people who don't understand you. A battle you've been trying to solve alone. God sees your battle. God knows your pain. God understands your tears. And God is telling you today, this battle is not yours. It is mine. You don't have to fight every enemy. You don't have to respond to every attack. You don't have to worry about every problem. You don't have to break yourself trying to fix what only God can. Preparing the victory. He is already working behind the scenes. Even when you feel nothing, God is working. Even when you see nothing, God is moving. Even when life feels overwhelming, God is still in control. The battle you're facing today will become the testimony you share tomorrow. Just like he fought for Moses, he will fight for you. Just like he fought for David, he will fight for you. Just like he fought for Lior, he will fight for you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. Your story is not over. God is with you, and he will fight for you. If this message touched your heart, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's Bible story. And tell me in the comments what battle you want God to fight for you today. Your message may inspire that honestly. Is there someone who hurt you, disappointed you, betrayed you, or spoke against you? And even though time has passed, the pain is still there. If your answer is yes, then stay with me to the very end of this message, because God has something powerful He wants to whisper to your heart today. Something that can bring you peace, healing, and freedom. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things for many Christians to do. We talk about love, we talk about prayer, we talk about faith, but when it comes to forgiveness, our hearts become heavy. We remember what someone did. We remember how it made us feel. And we say with our mouths that we forgive, but deep inside, the wound is still there. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. But before we talk about freedom, let me take you into a story. There was a young woman named Mara. She was known in her village for being kind, gentle, helpful, and full of life. She had many friends, and she trusted easily. But one day, something happened that changed her heart. A close friend she trusted spread a lie about her. Not just any lie, but a lie that damaged her reputation, her friendships, and her standing in the community. People who once smiled at her now avoided her. And the pain of betrayal cut deep. Mara cried at night. She couldn't understand why someone she loved would hurt her like that. Bitterness slowly started to grow in her heart. Every time she saw that friend in the marketplace, she looked away. She felt anger rise in her chest. She kept the pain inside, but it weighed on her like a heavy stone. Days passed, weeks passed, but the pain didn't fade. One evening, Mara sat alone outside her house, staring at the sunset. Her grandmother, an old woman filled with wisdom, came to sit beside her. She looked at Mara and said, "My child, you are carrying something heavy. Tell me what is troubling your heart." Mara tried to stay strong, but tears spilled from her eyes. She told her grandmother everything, the betrayal, the lies, the pain, the anger. When she finished speaking, her grandmother held her hand and said something surprising. "Forgive her." Mara looked up sharply. "Forgive her? After what she did to me? After how she humiliated me? She doesn't deserve forgiveness." Her grandmother nodded gently. "Maybe she doesn't, but you deserve peace." Mara was confused. Peace? How does forgiving her give me peace? Her grandmother smiled softly, because forgiveness is not about freeing the person who hurt you. It is about freeing yourself. Unforgiveness is a chain that binds your heart to pain. But forgiveness breaks that chain. Mara stayed silent. Her grandmother continued, "You think holding on to the anger protects you. But in truth, it is hurting you. The Bible says, forgive, just as God forgave you. God forgave us even when we didn't deserve it. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself." That night, Mara could not sleep. Her grandmother's words echoed in her mind. She realized that resentment had taken her joy, her sleep, her peace, and her laughter. She wanted to be free again. The next morning, Mara walked to the river, her quiet place. She stood by the water and prayed, "God, I don't feel like forgiving. But I want to be free. Help me forgive, even if my heart is still hurting." As she prayed, she felt something soften inside her. Not a complete healing, not instant relief, but a beginning. She took a deep breath and whispered the hardest words she had ever said, "I forgive her." The moment she said those words, tears flowed. But these tears were different, tears of release, tears of healing, tears of freedom. It felt like a weight she had carried for months suddenly lifted. She didn't forgive